Good morning, basement dwellers. Today we are going to be working on advanced body angles. So we have done the beginner tutorial for body angles, in which we covered the simplified forms. And in this one we are going to be covering all of the forms, all of the advanced stuff. So let's get into this. Starting off with scuff. Yeah, my internet's horrible right now. I don't know why. I have no idea what happened. It's been pretty bad for a couple days now. Well, excuse me for taking a week off because I was sick. Well, excuse me for having the flu. Good morning. Okay. To prepare you guys, this is going to be a tutorial style stream. So while I will be replying to your comments, I will mostly be focusing on teaching Live2D. Okay, so we have the chart again. So these are the body forms that we are going to be covering today. We have torso X, torso Y, torso Z, hips X, hips Z, position X, position Y, and position Z. It's a lot of forms, but we are going to try to get through this relatively quickly.
Welcome back to Land of Living.
Thanks! Thank you! "41 months, holy shit. Okay. Alright, so let's get into this. So the first thing you will need is all of these parameters. So what we're looking at is the input parameters, which is body X, body Y, body Z, position X, position Y, and position Z. And as for the output parameters that we want is torso X, torso Y, torso Z, hips X, hips Z, lean X, lean Y, and lean Z. Torso and hips are -30 to 30, while the leans are -10 to 10. You better now not completely recovered. Not completely, but I felt like doing a stream today. At least I'm not throwing up anymore, which is progress. You know, not throwing up is progress. Okay, first we want to start with the torso, which is relatively easy to do. So I already made a deformer for the torso angle. So in it is just the standard torso without anything else. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bind this to torso X, and on the input you do not want to bind anything on the input because we're going to be using that as physics input. All of the angles we're gonna do is going to be bound to physics. Okay, so we are going to do the same trick as we did in the basics tutorial. So I'm gonna speed through this. Okay. Oh, not that one. We want 3D generation. And for the mapping, we want torso X. And for the Y direction, I'm gonna go lean Z. And this is going to make sense. So we want to add the torso angle to the object. And I am going to change this to, yes, 10 degrees by 10 degrees. We are going to update the keyforms. So what that does is it gives us a plane of rotation. And this is going to be a base to start working from. Now this is a little bit strong. So we are going to change that to maybe 5. Gonna update that. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And this is going to be the lean forward and lean backwards. If that makes sense. Today you're showing how to rig Booba? Nope, we're not rigging Booba today. We're just doing body forms. You learn this all by yourself, or... Oh, when I first started, I was following tutorials too. But a lot of them don't cover the kind of stuff that I do right now. It's all like gathered knowledge over time. So I want to make a tutorial to put all of my knowledge in one video, if that makes sense. Okay, so we've got a good base to work from now, and we are going to ignore the lean Z and just focus on the torso X right now. So what we're gonna do is we're going to select the layers that are sticking out from the body, which would be the bust in this case, right? So let's get that, and I don't think I need to have it on a high division. I'm gonna try to speed through it. You guys talking definitely increases it though. I'm just saying. Because I will respond to you. Okay, since this sticks out, we want to deform this. Like that. Then we're going to reflect motion on that. See, and it's starting to look a little bit better already. I also want to take all of this. There we go. And I want to just scoot this up a little bit. Probably not that far though. Yeah, like that. That makes sense to me. We reflect motion. And the goal is to make it look more 3D. Because the rotation, it rotates, but in a 2D plane. So now we just have to move layers. How are the buns? Has Luna stopped being a rebellious brat and eat again voluntarily? Yes, yeah, she's eating. She's fine. She wasn't eating because she was in pain, so... Yeah, she's fully healed now, she's doing great. Peter, yeah, I recognize you. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Don't mind the cans of energy drink that apparently have appeared on my chest. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to grab the ribbon here and we want to deform that over to match the chest. I am currently having coffee. I do not have the current funds for energy drink. Let's make sure that doesn't move too much. Okay, cool. All right. Let's make sure that... Okay, I like that. Most of it is going to be moving with physics anyway, so we're going to reflect motion on that. I need to push this down a bit.
Is that helping you at all?
Ah, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, hi Dan. Welcome to the stream. Okay, let's make that stick up a little bit more. Okay. Reflect motion, see how that looks. And as you can probably see, I have glued down the shoulders. We're going to be fixing that. Yay! Yeah, hi! Hello! Okay, I see. This needs to go down. I was wondering why that was stuttery. There we go, that's better. And now we gotta fix the arms. So let's take the... One of these is not like the others. Select everything that says R. That one. Found it. Okay, so this is actually arm left, not arm right. And the reason for that is that it's her left. So this is arm right because it's her right. Banana. Okay. There's warm coffee in the pot next to the entrance of the dungeon. True. There's always coffee in the basement. Okay. So we're gonna fix the arms. So when she moves this way, we want to move it up. Now I need to fix the glue on that. But just bear with me. And then when she moves this way, we're gonna rotate in a little bit and down. And that's how the arm kind of moves with the rotation there. And we're gonna do the same for this side. When we move this way, we want to rotate in and down. And rotate out and up. Okay. We gotta do something about that glue because it's a little bit harsh. And it's only connected here. I'm not connecting that all the way. Okay. That should be a little bit better. You name your deformer? That's so cool. I really can't do it. I know. I usually don't. However, for the purpose of me making tutorials, I want to be a good influence. Are you gonna stream on Saturday? Yes, probably more work for a while, if that's okay. I'll do video game streams at some point, but I really do need to work. Okay, so we're gonna be fixing this as well, and that is too many divisions. We're gonna go back to 12. This needs to be brought down. And I feel like that's gonna need to be down on both sides. Okay, and then we need to get the collar. Oh. Clown model. Yeah, she's so cute. She's so cute. So, red jester. Okay. I'm gonna have to adjust this as well while we're at it. And that is definitely too many divisions. What am I doing? So if we can pull this up and in. Down. Out. That is too much of a rotation. I do not trust myself with that amount of rotation. That's better. Okay. And this is essentially torso X. And what we want to do now is, and this step is actually important. I've been messing around, but this step is actually important. We're gonna select the bottom of the model. Control Shift C, Control Shift V. And that way, anything below the hips does not move. We do not want movement below the hips because we're just working on torso. Okay, now torso Y is going to be incredibly simple. So we're gonna make a new deformer for this. And we're gonna put this on torso Y. And when she looks up, so I actually want the arms in there. Okay, so when she looks up, we want the shoulders to drop and the chest to rise. And this is just torso Y. We're gonna go with the big Y movements on position Y. This is just the torso. Okay, this is what happens when she looks up. Then when she looks down, we raise the shoulders. And we drop the chest. Does that make sense? Gonna make sure the ribbon stays kind of in the same place. We do not want too much ribbon movement here. Okay. And this is looking up and down. This is what her chest is doing, her chest and shoulders. And if you do this in real life, or you have someone else do it while you observe, you will see that this is pretty accurate. It's an exaggerated version of it, but this is pretty accurate to what your body does when you look up and down. So that's why we're on torso Y here. Okay, now speeding through torso Z. So what we're gonna be doing for torso Z is she's going to lean left and right. It's that simple. So we are taking everything above the skirt. And we're gonna say this is torso Z. Tutorial with Vi? Yes, yes. This stream will be made into a tutorial. I just have to edit out a lot of talking. I yap. Hiya, welcome to the stream. We are very much yapping. Trying to get this done though. Trying to get this done. Okay. So, now that we have our deformer, we're gonna bind it to torso Z. And then what I like to do personally is I like to select the top of that with the brush tool. Shortcut is B, by the way. And then we rotate. Make sure that's positioned properly. And this is the easiest way to do this. I don't know if I can reflect motion on this. I can. Good, great. Okay. And now what I want to do is I want to select the bottom because I saw it deform a little bit too far down. So we're gonna copy and paste. Control Shift C and Control Shift V. Okay. Now I'm gonna take the arms and just kind of adjust those a little bit. Because I want... Oh. Let's get the deformer brush. I want this arm to go down a bit. While this arm goes up. Just make sure that looks okay. Then we reflect that. And that is looking good. Actually, let's adjust this a little bit further. There we go. You need to make her yap more. I am speaking constantly. I am constantly speaking. What do you want from me? Next stream is on Saturday. Don't worry, don't worry. Next stream will be on Saturday. Okay. And that is just the torso movement. Now, before we get into hips, I'm going to save this. Very important, save every 5 minutes. And then we're gonna go into physics settings. And she already has all of the head movement, but none of the body movement. So, we're gonna say torso X. And I have a preset for this, kind of. It's kind of a preset. Body physics, but I want reaction speed to be 0.4. Convergence, I'm gonna say 1.5. Okay. So we want to add a body X. And this is going to be angle. 100% effective. And I want to make this minus 60 to 60. Okay, then for the output settings, we want to add torso X. See what happens when I lower the convergence real quick. Okay, yeah, lower convergence better. 0.8. Did you remember to start the timer on this? Yes, I have. And my timer is on 28 minutes. Okay. So we're gonna swing this around, get the maximum output, and then increase it. And then lower it. Because that's how we do. And as you can see, has a little bit of a delayed bounce back on it. I'm trying to save money so I can afford Live2D because I want to make my own VTuber model. Hell yeah! Making your own VTuber model is so much fun. Live2D is like, I think 13 pounds. 13 pounds for a month. Yeah. So it's not that bad. It's not that expensive. Also, if you're just starting out, I have a bunch of tutorials on my channel if you want to peruse through that. It's a bit chaotic. I have a few basic ones, but then also some highly specific ones. So it's a little bit chaotic, but I do have some tutorials. I'm gonna get the 60 euros for 3 years deal. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, that does save a lot of money. I can't get that because I'm a monthly subscriber. But yeah. I know it delves into anime, but what are your thoughts on solo leveling season 2 end? I mean, they're pretty faithful to the manhwa, I would say. It was cool. I was gonna use your tutorials. I really like your work. Thank you, thank you. I am so happy that they're helpful. Oh no, this is a spoiler. No anime spoilers in the chat, and I won't say anything either. I'm just gonna say it's faithful to the manhwa. So if you've read that, then you've already spoiled yourself, I suppose. Okay, so now we got the torso X in. And we're gonna duplicate that. And we're gonna say torso Y. Input settings is gonna be body Y. Output settings is gonna be torso Y. And you can see it's moving the chest and shoulders on the Y position and not doing much else at the moment. But that's okay, because we have a lot more parameters to go. So we're gonna say torso Z. And then this is gonna be body Z. And that's gonna be torso Z. And now you can leave it like this. But what I like to do is I like to reflect it. And now I do need to adjust the hair gravity real quick. I do need to adjust the hair gravity real quick. Like that. Okay. Cool. I like to reflect that because I just like how it looks. I want to learn all this. I have been rigging pretty much daily since 2020. Took me a while to learn this, but I'm a slow learner. I have to preface that I am a slow learner. And I'm mostly a visual learner. So if there's just a lot of information given to me all at once, I will likely not absorb it. Yeah, I hope my tutorials are visual enough though. Okay. So this is what this is doing, and now we have the torso movements. Okay. Now what we're gonna be moving on to is hips. College is killing me. Even now I'm in class. Oh no. Godspeed. Okay, so what we're going to be doing for the hips is I kind of want the torso in it. So you know what? We're getting the entire body. I can't do that. Can I? I can't. Can't do that. Let me figure out what I'm doing here. This skirt is throwing me for a loop. It's a very pretty skirt, but it is throwing me for a loop here. So what I don't want in this is the arms. If I throw this in torso Z, how does that look? Not great, but we can fix it. We can fix her. Oh, not the legs, please. Skirt. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. You know what? This is fine. Okay. We're gonna keep the skirt here because I want to select the torso with this as well. So we're gonna say this is hips. Great. So now what we're gonna do for the hips X is we want to rotate. We are rotating hips. Okay, cool. So, I like that rotation. So what we're gonna do now... Bear with me. So we're gonna throw this over here. Why are the arms in there? Hold. Why are the arms in there? We don't want the arms in there. Give me a second. Let's try this. That certainly is better. Okay, so we want the hips to swing out. Rotate and swing. Maybe I'll swing to the other side, actually. Where am I going with this? The sleeves tied to the skirt? Yeah, I noticed, don't worry. I was aware. So what if I swing this to the other side, but still have it rotated to this side? I actually kind of like that. I have to fix the top, obviously, but... Okay, you know what? Kinda like that. Kinda like that. I definitely know what I'm doing, by the way. Let's call it educated guessing. Alright, and then we're gonna reflect motion on that. And that is really cute. I like that. So now we're gonna grab the legs. And we want to grab one leg at a time. So this is leg left. And this is a leg right. Okay. We want to bind those to the hips. And that goes out as we swing this way. And when we swing the other way, we go in. I don't think we need to go down though, so. We swing out and in. We want to make sure that is smooth all the way. The toes do not move. Toe movement, not good. So now we take the other leg, and for the other leg we want to give it a little bit more of a subtle movement. So we're gonna bend this in, and when we go to this side we bend it out. There we go. And this is how the hips swing on the X. Now we want the hip swing on the Z. And this is gonna be a little bit more dramatic. I do like dramatic hip swings. So what we're gonna do is this. We're swinging up. However, we want to make sure that the top does not move. So, Control Shift C, Control Shift V. And there we go. And then we reflect motion on that. And then we control 4, which is synthesize corners. We're gonna do that. Now we want the legs as well. So when the hips swing this way, because the hip is raised to one side, she's probably gonna go on her tippy toes on that side to get the leg up, right? So that's what we're gonna do. Yi. So we want to make sure not to move the toes, but we do want the ankle to go up. Because she goes fully on her tippy toes here. Make sure every other detail looks good. There we go. And now when she goes down, because the hip is all the way down, she would probably bend the knee a little bit here. This feels like programming, but prettier and with pictures. That is a good description, actually. That is a good description. Bring the ankle down a bit on this. It's a bit too dramatic. That's better. And now we do the same on this leg. Here she goes on her tippy toes. Bring the ankle up. And for this side, she's probably bending the knee. It's a bit strong. Ooh, what am I doing? There. That looks pretty. That looks accurate to what's happening. So with movements in Live2D, you want to have movements that the body would naturally do, except exaggerated. That's how that works. Have you had time to play anything, or you've been drowned with work? I've been drowned with work. Have not played anything. Okay, so we want to select both legs, and then again, Control 4 to synthesize corners. So now that we have the corners, as you can see, the hips are doing their thing without the upper body moving at all. I am a little concerned though about what's happening with this. I shouldn't be. No, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That one's fine. Okay. So we're gonna save again. And before we go into the lean, we're gonna go into physics settings. And we are going to add hips X. I don't think I have a hip swing here, do I? I do not. I do not have a hip swing. I'm gonna have to do that manually. Unless it's body custom. That might be it. Hold up. Not gonna be that though. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add input. We're gonna say this is body X. 100. I don't know if I want to put this on angle. I think I'm gonna put this on angle. Okay, so we're gonna do this minus 60 to 60. And then we're gonna be adding hips X. You can see it moving a little bit, but we want to really get the output going. What if I reflect this? Okay. You know what? I think the reflected version is actually better. How are we looking? We looking good? I think we're looking good. That's a nice hip swing. And then what I'm going to add here, and this is gonna be... No, you know what? We're gonna keep it like that. I also see a slight problem with that, so we're gonna fix that while we're here. Let's see, skirts. This needs to go further out. Okay, let's try that again. We're just tweaking until things look good. That's kind of how you do that. Okay, so now we're gonna say duplicate hips Z, and we are gonna say body Z. And the output is, where is it? Hip C. There we go. And this is kind of how that looks. I don't like how that leg goes there. First of all, I can turn the effectiveness of this down a little bit. So I am going to take this leg and I want to bring that in a little bit. So that was too far out. Okay, let's see how that looks. A lot better. Okay. Now these are some basic angles. And now we are gonna move on to position. And position is fun. Position is fun to work on. For this, we want to take the entire body and we are gonna say position. Let's see, we can turn this down. Okay. And this is gonna be the left and right lean, if that makes sense. We are leaning left and right with our entire body, not just our torso. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bind that and then do this little trick in modeling, temporary deformer, and then distort. And we're gonna drag her over. And then reflect motion on that. Now you could leave it here if you so desire. Personally, I want to anchor the feet because I do not like floating feet. Okay, you could leave it here. However, you could also make this into a step. I have a step toggle tutorial somewhere on my channel. And if this makes it into a tutorial video, I will probably link that right here. But I do have a step tutorial. So I am not gonna put a step in. That is not something that I'm going to do right now. But, you know, if you want the step, it would have to be on lean X for it to look good. That is my point. Now, lean Y is basically just her body going up and down. That's it. That's what lean Y does. Lean Y is the bounce. So we are going to grab the torso Z and we're gonna put that on lean Y. And now we drag her up. And then on the -10, we drag her down. And that's what that does. And now we want to have the legs. We want to make new deformers for that. Lean leg left. We're gonna make one for this one as well, which is gonna be lean leg right. Okay. Now we're just gonna pull the leg up and out and down and in. And that's basically what we're doing here. Ah. Let me adjust this. And then we want to do the same with the other leg. Oh, thank you for the stretch. Oh. Yeah, I'm stretching. Ah, there we go. Okay. And we'll do the same for this one. Down and in. Up and out. And that is how Lean Y works. Very simple, very bouncy. Now the last one, Lean Z. And this is the famous lean in and out. Now I like to keep it subtle, personally. I know a lot of people like to go for like the crazy leans, but we're keeping it subtle. We're keeping it classy. I think if you want a crazy lean, you gotta make it a toggle. For the subtle leans, you can make it in tracking. Don't worry, my back is fine. My back is doing okay. Okay, so we already have the torso leaning in and out. However, let me select that. We want to adjust this a little bit. Because when we lean out, it goes too far down. So we want to push that up. And then we push this down. And this is the lean forwards, and that's the lean backwards. And you can already kind of see that take shape. What we don't want is for the bottom to move. Hips need to stay where they are. So we're gonna anchor that. And then have a lean on the torso. Okay. And for this one, I need to get the head involved. So let's say head lean, 21 by 21. And this is kind of how that works. Make sure that's centered. Now we're gonna go into okay, so below the rotation deformer on the head, we want to make another deformer and call it head size. And this is very straightforward on what it does. When we lean in, we want the head to be bigger. And if your character has long hair, you are going to need to adjust the hair, just so you know. And when she leans back, the head will be smaller. That might be a little bit of an exaggeration. Nope, it's actually good. Okay, cool. Now we want the arms. And we drag those down. However, we're gonna temporary deformer, and then we're gonna go perspective. We're gonna increase the width of that. When she leans in, and then when she leans back, I'm gonna do a perspective. We're gonna make the shoulders a little bit smaller. Okay. And this is the lean. How do we feel about the lean? It's a bit much. You know what? Lean a bit much. So we're gonna do a little bit less on that. Okay. Now I want to fix the color real quick. Also, don't forget to synthesize corners. Okay, let's fix the color. So when she leans back, we want this to change in perspective too. Yeah, welcome to the stream. I'm also in class. Pay attention to your classes, those are expensive. Okay. There we go. That's better. Now we synthesize those corners and we save. Now let's see how this looks in physics. The best way to determine what you're doing is just to look at things in physics. Got free education? Nice. So, if you're not sure about a movement, the best thing to do is just put it in those physics, see how it moves, and then decide if you need to change something. And I think this is something that comes with experience, knowing where the problem is. The more you rig in Live2D, the easier it will be to spot mistakes. How much work do you take for a month? I usually take... It depends on how long a project takes me, to be honest. But I usually have 3 to 4 projects active per month. But obviously, if something takes a lot longer than a month, that one will stay active. So that will reduce a slot. And that is full time, by the way. I rig about 8 hours a day. So, to put that in perspective, each project takes well over 100 hours. Okay, let's start putting in the leans. So let's start with lean X. And put this on angle. I don't think I have the cursor tracking active for that. I do not. Okay, so we want to take input position X, and this is one that you have to add manually. We cover that in the beginning. So we want to add a position X on angle at 100%. And I want to do this -30 to 30 on the angle. And for output settings, we are too far down. Lean X. We want to swing this around, get the maximum output, and then increase. Let's say 15. And this is how that looks. We won't see this very often because it takes a lot for the tracking to register one way or the other. Okay. That is the lean X. And I'm actually going to take that off of the cursor tracking, because you rarely ever see that when you're actually tracking. Okay, but we duplicate that and we say lean Y. And we change this to position Y. And the output we change to lean Y. And there's the bounce. Okay, and we duplicate that and we say lean Z. And we say this is position Z. And lean Z. And as you can see, we are doing a subtle lean here. And this is the full range of motion here. Ooh, I spot a mistake. Here, right here. Here's the mistake. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. It's probably the torso Z. It's probably the torso Z. Let's try that. Try to synthesize those corners. Yes, it was. Takes a little bit of experience to know exactly where you messed up. But I spotted that. She's so cute. Yeah, she is. She's so cute. Okay. There we go. And this is the full range of motion. Let me remove myself. There we go. Her range of motion. The tail isn't moving yet. But the rest is. Needs more booba bounce. We haven't gotten to physics yet. We have not gotten to the physics. There's a lot of ear bounce, by the way. I am noticing the sheer amount of ear bounce, but that's unrelated. Feels like spotting mistakes is like playing Where's Waldo, but he might not even be on the page. That depends. If you rig like a lot, you will usually spot the mistakes pretty easily because your eyes are just gonna be like, something's not right here. We don't know where it is yet, but something is off. But yeah, a lot of that just comes with experience. Looks good? Yeah! Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I will be adjusting some things, actually. I will absolutely be adjusting a few things here. However, for a base, this isn't bad. This is pretty good for a base. And honestly, I'm confident in saying I could make this into a tutorial. The head is rotating. Doesn't the neck seem a bit weird? Yeah, I need to fix that. Again. Don't come at me. We are going to be fixing things. Yeah, it's leaning too much. The head is like moving too much. You are right about that, but we will be fixing that. This is just the initial body movements, which I have not taken the head into that yet. The booba needs fixing. It's coming up a bit flat on the up, especially on the corners. So the booba needs fixing there. The hips need a little bit more fixing. The legs aren't as smooth as I want them to be. The arms need fixing. There's a lot here that needs a lot more fixing. But I'm just explaining the basics on how to do things. Yeah, I like that. I think for a base, that is good. And it's also like, you could be working on a Live2D project for a very, very long time. Especially if you're a perfectionist, you keep seeing mistakes, you keep going back and forth. At some point, you gotta call it quits. At some point, you gotta set the line, like, hey, I can't do any more. This is not good for me. This is not good for my personal life. All of my friends are leaving me because I'm focusing on one fucking detail. You gotta call it quits at some point. Something on left knee seems weird. Yes, Wolf, I addressed that. I addressed this. Yes. Yes. It is off. You are right. And I will be fixing that. But I want you to consider that I just did all of the body angles in an hour. That is an insane speed run. Of course, there's gonna be things that are off. I just tried to get through this real quick, because this is, in fact, for a tutorial. So, just doing things relatively quickly. Yeah. I think I am going to end it here, and I'm going to edit the stream and turn it into a faster paced tutorial where I'm not yapping as much. So yeah, I will be back on Saturday. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.